Hey y'all, Bloodhound Cop here. I started this channel a little bit ago, kind of on a challenge kind of deal, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Still really don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, I keep seeing people say, tell people we got a channel, don't tell people we got a channel, upload like this, don't upload like this, ask people to like your channel, don't ask people to like your channel, ask people to subscribe to your channel, ask them not to subscribe to your channel. I really don't know the answer, but I have no subscribers and no likes. So if you're inclined to do so, if you could like my channel, like my videos, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. See where this goes. Anyway, these cases that I talk about are my cases. They're not copied from anybody else. The detective cases, I was a detective on the case. The track cases I'm talking about when I'm a canine officer, that was my dog. I put in the work. And I did this channel really, like I said, as a challenge. But if you are a cop, maybe this will inspire you. If you want to be a detective or a canine officer, maybe this will inspire you to do that. If you're not a cop, maybe it'll inspire you to be one. It can be a very rewarding career. But anyway, today's case is an essay that happened while I was a detective. I get this call, and they said this woman is reporting that she had been essayed. Well, she didn't report it right away, and a lot of people don't. But in here, maybe you can spot the red flags and wait till the end of the video to see if you were right and what happened to me and the limb I had to go out on. But anyway, she reported that she was essayed. She and her husband lived in a mobile home park, and she said that she was on her way to work. She hadn't exited the mobile home park yet when a guy jumped out from the bushes, and he had a gun and a knife, wearing a mask, had on gloves. Didn't see him. He got in her car, and he made her take her about 30 minutes away to another city, out to a kind of a remote area that happened to be next to another mobile home park. And she was essayed. He then gets out of the car and runs off. So I said, okay. The first thing we need to do is an essay exam, and she went and did that. And then I asked her about, description of the suspect, and she couldn't give me anything. I said, okay. She didn't want her husband to know. She didn't want anybody to know. I said, okay, I won't tell anybody. That's strictly your choice. So I start to knock some doors in the trailer park to see if anybody had seen anyone suspicious. Nothing. So I called some other agencies and said, hey, do y'all have any kind of essay that meets this MO? Nope. Nobody had anything. I'm thinking this is kind of odd. I'm coming up empty here. And the agency I worked for, we didn't have anything like that. So I was like, I don't know. This is really odd. So, I keep at it, and I'm just coming up with nothing. And so finally, I guess maybe a week later, back in the day, we carried pagers. Don't have those anymore. But anyway, I'd gone to dinner one night, and my pager went off. And so I called the department, and they said that this victim was very upset that the suspect had written on her windshield of her car, I told you not to go to the police. Well, he had written that in pink lipstick. And back in the day, men really didn't dress up like women like they do today. So I go over to the house and meet with the victim, and by this time she's told her husband what happened. And so everybody's really upset. And I said, okay, I can understand that. Did you tell anybody? No, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody what happened here at all. And I hadn't. I found it very odd that the message was written in pink lipstick. So I go back and I meet with my sergeant the next day, and I tell him, I said, listen, I'm coming up with nothing here, and I don't think she's telling the truth. And he said, you better be right. I said, I think I am right. I said, for me, the big giveaway, well, a couple of them. First of all, the gun and the knife. Most criminals don't carry both. That's kind of a rarity. It's one or the other, if they're armed at all. I thought that was odd. Then I thought it was odd that she just left him, according to her, at the place where the SA took place 30 or 40 minutes away. I don't know how he got to the town that I worked for. Don't know how he got away. I thought, okay, this is strange. And then the writing on the windshield and the pink lipstick. So I told my sergeant, I don't think she's telling the truth. Which is a terrible thing to have to do. That you never want to have to accuse a victim of not telling the truth. He said, well, you better be right. I said, well, I think I am. He said, well, we need to go tell the captain. So I have to go into the captain's office and tell him that I think this victim is not telling the truth. And again, he said, you better be right. I said, well, I think I am right. And I laid out the argument that I got nowhere in the investigation. Nobody had any more of these. There's no suspect description. I can't understand how he got to the agency I worked for. I can't understand how he got away. And then all those questions, and then the message in the pink lipstick. So he said, I think you're right. So we call her in and confront her with the evidence that we have, or lack of. We had no evidence. And she finally admits that she was not telling the truth. She was married, but she had a boyfriend, and she had taken the day off work. She didn't go to work that day, and she and her boyfriend had spent the day together in what would be a very compromising situation with her husband. And so the thing that the department did make her do was she had to pay for the SA exam. That was like, back in the day, it was like $300. And we'd already spent the money, and she agreed to that if we would agree just to drop it and not tell her husband. I said, your business, you tell him whatever you want to tell him. It's not my business to tell. But we dropped it, and a few months later, I get a call from another agency, and this time it involves the husband. And he had bought a truck, couldn't pay for it, took it down to another city and set it on fire and committed insurance fraud. And I said, well, here's what the wife did. So he went to jail. We did not put her in jail for filing a false report. We didn't do that. So sometimes if you want to be a detective, you have to know that sometimes people make stories up. They don't tell the truth. And you have to be prepared to make your case about somebody lying about something as heinous as SA. It's a heinous crime. And really not to be lied about. You know, you see all the time where women say, oh, this happened to me. And unfortunately, people go to jail, and they go to jail without evidence sometimes. And lives get ruined. This was not the instance here because obviously I had no suspect. Anyway, that's my story about the SA. So, if you can, I always ask my other videos, if you can, donate to the hurricane relief effort. Now donate to the wildfire relief effort. Those people are in so much trouble. It's just a shame. Anyway, see you later.